Ladies and gentlemen, I want to get psyched up right now.
So I guess this Beelzebub is horny.
Literally.
Happy Halloween from 80 of the 80s Music Podcast. In celebration of the world's greatest holiday, we're doing something different. The following is a bonus conversation with Notorious J.A.M. of VisArt Video. We'll discuss not so much the music, but two of the blurst films of the year 1987. I'm talking about the Garbage Pail Kids Movie and Rock and Roll Nightmare, which is also known as The Edge of Hell. But, in order to continue in listening to this bonus cast, you must first become a patron. You wanna? Well, in order to do so, you must raise your right hand. That is, if you're not currently operating a vehicle or heavy machinery. If you are driving, you are permitted to raise your left pinky toe. Alright? Now, repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the 80 of the 80s Music Podcast, to the Human League, and the Culture Club, and the Escape Club, and the Timex Social Club, and the Union of the Snake, and I promise to do my best to spread the gospel of quality pop music. Congratulations, you are now a patron. Permission to listen granted.
Yeah, Garbage Pail Kids.
Your parents say you dress like you should be in a carnival. You can be a garbage pail kid.
You managed to watch it?
It's international, radical, how anything unusual ends up like a garbage pail kid.
Yes, I got through it.
You watch it multiple times?
You're also great.
No, I did not. You've seen it 6 times, right?
I've seen it a ton, yeah. Seriously, yeah, I probably watched it 6 times by now. One of 2 movies made by a bubblegum company.
The West Virginia Treasurer A. James Manchin says the cards threaten the well-being of children, and after getting dozens of complaints, he's asking stores to pull them from their shelves.
They don't need to have a chewing gum company or a bubble gum company sending them cards that show mutilation, cannibalism, torture, one child being burned alive on a bubble gum card.
My mom wouldn't let me buy them because they were too violent. But
Yeah.
even like I think at the time it was like 2nd or 3rd grader, I still thought they were really graphic. Like the kid who was like zipping open his face.
I've got an enamel pin of that guy.
All right.
I thought they were fantastic, but my mother hated them. And like, my brother and I had a collection, and she paid us to let her throw them out.
I liked the cards at first because I really liked the concept because I didn't.
Cabbage Patch Kids.
You know, it's a girl's toy.
Right.
And it's so cutesy.
The Cabbage Patch Kids. Each doll is different, and you can pretend to adopt them.
My baby has a real diaper.
You can love and care for them like your very own.
You're a pal. You're the only one. I love you.
They're each one of a kind. They're
Cabbage Patch Kids.
You can give them all your love.
When the Cabbage Patch craze hit, I was 6, I think.
Yeah.
7. It was about like 82, 83.
When the doors opened at this Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania store, the pushing and shoving began. One woman was knocked to the floor and suffered a broken leg. This scene has been repeated in hundreds of stores across the country that advertise the Cabbage Patch Kid.
I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like their faces, but I want one.
And it did kind of subside over a while. I mean, there was still some of it was hanging around, but the actual Garbage Pail Kids card maybe it was a couple of years later. And by the time they came out with the movie,
The Garbage Pail Kids Movie,
I remember seeing a clip Like, I guess they couldn't afford a minute trailer on TV, so maybe it was a 10-second trailer. There are these guys you're going to love.
They may not be pretty, but boy, they make great friends.
And I just, from that brief clip, I thought, like, really bad puppetry. It's really dark. And, a year-to-day kid is like 10 years to an adult.
Parents and educators think that this whole garbage pail thing will soon pass.
I think by the time it came out, Garbage Pail Kids, it's just so passé.
When I was a kid, we'd always see the movie in the video store. And being fans of Garbage Pail Kids, we always wanted to rent it. My mom never would let us. Like, she thought it was too gross. And I remember looking at the box and thinking even then that it looked pretty bad, but it was still intriguing. I don't know. I guess that mystique never went away, even though I've seen the movie for what it is. Beyond that, it's like same with any other movie. It's like when it's just that thoroughly bad, you eventually like forgive it, and it's endearing, like every bit of it.
I guess when you get over the disappointment, maybe, or
like whenever you know what you're in for, and like pick out all the little nuances and things like that. The eyes moving in different directions.
Yeah, what was it with that?
All right, so
you know this one too. Good.
I do. Apparently, reportedly, the movie was shot in an actual warehouse, and it had a metal roof, and that was interfering with the radio-controlled eyes. It was making them act funky.
So that was unintentional?
Yeah, it was not intentional. The roof was scrambling the signal of the radio control.
On a visceral level, maybe this was its purpose. It did kind of gross me out.
Yeah, there's a lot of grossness going on.
Because I was eating when I saw it, or not all of it, but part of it. I didn't have like an hour and a half meal, but still, the snot girl.
Hi. Don't shake hands with messy Tessie.
I just had to tell myself it's not. Sorry.
Old Faithful.
He's not really wetting himself.
Oh, grow up. I thought it was funny.
They really, really went to town with the fart thing.
I think I better break up the tension around here. I'll get him. This'll make him wake up.
Attention breaks.
And at first, I thought the baby, that was his power.
Well, I did some research, and reportedly, all the superpowers, if you will, of the Garbage Pail Kids were going to be enhanced with animation, but they ran out of money, I guess. And I think the baby was supposed to have super bad breath.
Pass the onions and garlic.
Because there's one scene where you see Dodger like talking to the baby, and he like turns away in disgust. So I presume they were going to add some like stink breath right there.
So that was pretty lame visual ability. And then Valerie Vomit, I forgot what her ability was until like at the very end she finally vomited.
Yeah, they did like suggest it when she threw up that card when they were playing poker or whatever.
But see, I don't know if I believe all like IMDb trivia, because did it say that like the actress for Tangerine was dating McKinney?
Yeah, I heard they were actually dating. Yeah.
Even though she's like a full foot taller than him, and
Come on, he's just a kid. He's about 12 years old.
as creepy as that scene where she was licking his ear was.
Dodger, baby, you're gonna look so cool tonight. Why, I don't even know how I'm gonna be able to resist you.
So maybe not. Well, I granted there's still both minors, supposedly. I mean, she looks like she was 30 to me, but...
I'll be back before you can miss me.
You know, Aston stature.
Oh, yeah, right. He's Sean Astin's brothers.
Did you know that his mother is Patty Duke?
Yes. I did a little research myself.
Oh, well, good for you. What'd you find out?
Monster with 1,000 eyes is shouting to be fed.
Well, for one thing, I did get it wrong on 80 the 80s episode 34. It would have been an interesting fun fact that if Anthony Newley began his career with Willy Wonka and ended it with Garbage Pail Kids.
The funny man is me.
But he actually, I mean, he did a lot of stuff before Willy Wonka.
Look at me, I'm the
And then really, there weren't that many songs. Mostly it was just. I found no evidence that he actually he wrote that. And granted, it was the last movie that he was in. He does seem very out of place. The film is much better for having him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he is kind of like the wise figure. He actually does say a few clever things.
Patience is a bit of vine, dear Dodger, but it bears sweet fruit.
You know, he's so good-natured and kind.
Ugliness is not in a mirror. Ugliness is cruelty, meanness of spirit, greed. To be blessed with unusual features is an adventure.
I feel like he must have been a driving force in getting that movie done. Oh, the Garbage Pail Kids. This is like teaching children about inner beauty.
That was also one of the trivia points, was that he hung out on studio all the time because he really believed in the film.
Yeah, you could tell.
And for me, it almost seemed like he needed a little extra dough, kind of like by the Jeremy Irons Dungeons and Dragons movie. I respect him because I do like some of his songs from the 60s. And that was weird too, like how the plot seemed to be all about doing fashion for Tangerine.
The chick, see, she's into fashion.
What was she doing? She was selling it to some of her friends or something outside the dance club. So that seemed like the plot, but then suddenly became, oh no.
Scared our friends are gonna die.
This is a vile place.
Really terrible place.
What was it called again?
The state home for the ugly.
The state home for the ugly.
Yeah, the plot gets rescue the kids, which that happened very quickly. But then it's like, okay, now that you're rescued, guess what? You're going back in the garbage can.
Back in the garbage pail.
All right, children, we've had our fun. Come on, back into the garbage pail.
No way.
That pail be jail.
So isn't he doing the same thing?
Yeah, it's pretty horrible when you think about it.
You are forcing me to lay some very heavy magic on you.
They're aliens, apparently, that happened to land in this antique store, and yeah, he keeps them trapped in a garbage can.
When you care for somebody, when you love them, that brings responsibility.
And he's like trying to write a spell to put them back in.
Once upon a dragon's tail, send the kids back in the pail.
And so coincidentally, they landed in this antique store that this captain runs. They call him captain, even though he's a magician. I don't know. Sometimes it's called superheroes captains for some reason.
I don't know.
I mean, it would have been much better since this guy lived 100 years and he has antiques from around the world. That this was just another antique.
Just like Highlander.
Yes.
Maybe he's immortal.
Yeah, the intro, the very first scene you see, it's kind of Lovecraftian. The menace from space. Also, like aliens, just have to have the same culture that we do. They speak the same language.
Chicks is chicks, and I know my chicks.
Just so weird. They're like alien orphans. You know, because they're like,
we don't have any mothers.
Did you notice in the scene where they're being rescued?
I don't see them.
Like it's a happy moment.
Where could they be?
And the theme song is playing, the instrumental. Dodger's like, what about the others?
Captain, what about all the other children?
Yes. They were looking for the other Garbage Pail Kids. And he's like, I'm sorry, we were too late. Remember that garbage truck?
Remember the garbage truck? We were too late.
And he made the same gesture, like crushed him.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't pick up on that.
The music's still playing.
Okay, come on, children.
And they're like, come on, just make sure the other ones, let's go.
Yeah, because I was expecting them to find more Garbage Pail Kids, and maybe just for budgetary reasons they couldn't do it. So they're like, I guess they just died. It's like Poochie died on his way to the Planet X.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Wow, Poochie came from another planet? I guess.
Hey, that wasn't supposed to happen. Poochie's dead!
You know, that seems very likely, honestly, now that I think about it. Because I hear the budget precluded the animation effects, and also, like, each character only had one mask.
Suppose your face froze and you had to go through the rest of your life looking just like...
They could only afford one copy for each person.
Maybe it wouldn't make that much difference.
They were like getting beat up, and they were constantly being repainted and touched up. The actors had to breathe in paint fumes all the time, which is hilarious because apparently, according to my research, they could only like have the mask on for a few minutes at a time before they like suffocated. And have to, like do their scene and take them off real quick.
Their expression that they had must have mimicked the expression of the actors inside. They have this constant like looking like, I can't breathe. I thought it was kind of novel how they had Santa Claus and Gandhi and Abraham Lincoln all locked up. Like Abraham Lincoln's lived 100 years.
Did you notice there was one guy who was just too crippled?
Oh, yeah. Right. Then they had the guy who's too weird.
Yeah.
Well, he looks like a square neck. Oh, he's wearing a tutu. Oh, okay.
Well, you know, it was originally going to be a horror movie. It's supposed to ride the coattails of Gremlins.
The Gremlins, you know, it had some comedy as well.
Yeah, it could have been really good.
They did kind of do the Gremlins thing, you know, where there were a bunch of hoodlums, you know, like causing a bunch of chaos, and they even carjacked a Pepsi truck.
Yeah, they did, and they ran over somebody's car. And...
Hey, we're the Pepsi generation.
Maybe Anthony Newley was run off, but why didn't he just like, okay, just leave him in this little cage?
These sentient beings, get in the car.
And if they were going to be garbage compacted, but then Abraham Lincoln, I guess, made it like 150 years without being garbage compacted. But
yeah.
A lot of this stuff wasn't really thought.
No, it wasn't.
Through.
If you pink out on us, I wouldn't want to be your toes.
I did like the alligator. He was kind of an entertaining character. Yeah, the toe thing. And
whoa. Oh, that is it. Yeah. It's toe time.
Well, that was kind of funny. I kept going back to that.
And how he had like a lunchbox full of human body parts.
An eyeball a day keeps a doctor away.
No, thank you. I'm a vegetarian.
So, no, it wasn't a total bust. There was few redeeming factors. And...
The writer-director, like after they decided to change it from a horror movie and they switched directors, he was basically left to do everything. So that's what we got.
The 80 of the 80s bonus movie cast will be back after these messages.
Critters. The battle begins in another galaxy, but it's going to be fought in the Browns' backyard.
Oh, God, it was great!
I think you should all go and see it.
It was great. Bounty hunters, total psychoticness.
The critters like to party too.
I screamed through the whole thing.
Critters. See them in a theater. You don't want to run into them at home. Rated PG-13.
Critters now playing at a theater near you.
It's the freak phone, and here's the party freak. Friday freaker, dancing new sensation, grabbing the nation, doing the freak. Call now, 1-900-490-FREAK. Join the party, the fast and easy way to hear what's scamming from New York to LA. Call now, 1-900-490-FREAK. What's happening, what's jamming, party till you drop. Dial and hear the action, what's hot and what's not. Call now, 1-900-490-FREAK. $2 a call.
What's cool this year in Halloween costumes?
Madonna, Chuck Norris, Minnie Mouse.
As you can see, everyone has their own opinion, but it seems that cartoon characters, superheroes, and rock stars are the most popular costumes for today's trick-or-treaters.
Kids seem to have different standards of heroes now. It's just on TV. Whoever the hero is at the time is who they idolize, I guess, and want to be at the time they can be at once a year.
When we were smaller, I would say, maybe a clown or something like that would satisfy us. But now they're wanting more into the wigs and the makeup and the, new clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah. What happened to the days of witches and vampires? Well, they've been replaced by modern-day characters like Rambo and He-Man. But one kind of Halloween costume will never go out of style.
It's a gross monster.
Yeah? Why are monsters cool?
They got blood running down their face and everything.
Totally not related. Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Oh, Nightmare. Loved it.
I like the last 20 minutes or so, maybe. Oh, no, I mean the opening scene.
The 3-minute van drive.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. There was a ghoulie in the fridge.
Oh, that weird family, yes. Uh-huh.
Or was it, shoot, darn it, I need to rewatch it now. There was something scary in the fridge, right? But it ended up that she ended up in the oven. Did she turn into a...
It was never very clear what happened. Something just showed up and did something to her, and then something ended up in the oven and killed the dad. The little boy screaming, and then it cuts to present day.
Yeah, The Edge of Hell, when the version we watched on YouTube was called, I guess they changed the name of the movies that way because they're going to trick the video stores to buy more than one copy of the same film. Or, Rock and Roll Nightmare. I've seen that one already, but no, this Edge of Hell. I mean, I thought it was kind of slow, and especially like just the opening with the drive.
Yeah, 3-minute van drive.
I know, 3-minute van drive, yeah. Is it like they have to have 80 minutes in order to be considered a feature film?
I actually liked that long-ass opening because it was a cool van.
It's all about the van, man.
Yeah, it was. I didn't mind it at all.
But why Canada?
They're going to Toronto because that's where it's happening.
Because Toronto's where it's happening, man. The music, the film industry, the arts.
Yeah. They said it was a farmhouse, but it looked like there was lots of traffic going down the streets. I don't know.
It was right by the highway.
We're out here in the middle of nowhere. That's what they typically do, right? They stay away from the drugs and the clubs. On the music, man.
The only way to get you guys to rehearse is to lock you in a place where you have no distractions, nothing to do but play.
TV, no Dallas, no Dynasty.
Back to nature, huh? No hot tubs, no Dynasty.
His intention was to come up with 10 minutes of good music.
We've got a month to come up with 10 minutes of new good material.
Oh, like Steely Dan or something.
Yeah, then we're introduced to Stiggy.
I'd like to propose a toast to Phil, who came up with this wonderful dinner for us tonight.
The drummer with that horrible Australian accent.
Oh, God, yes.
Sniveling gits not out at the bloody house.
What are we doing here?
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go shake the monkey, Drain the dragon.
I guess Crocodile Dundee was hot at the time, so
right.
Riding that Aussie craze.
And he had the really bitchy girlfriend.
Luann.
You want to do it right here on the grass with all the twigs and mud and things?
Who he lured out. Who told you about this lake? It just looks like a ditch with water in it. Maybe I guess you could call it a pond.
We're far enough away from the house to do what we have to do.
And it's 100 feet from the house or something.
Yep.
Come on, take your things off.
He had this artificial hand that come out of his chest just to grab her boob.
Yeah, it's like, I'm ready.
So am I.
So am I. Yeah, copped a feel before he did whatever to her.
Right. So I guess this Beelzebub is horny.
Literally.
Yeah, right, yeah. The groupies come, but he asks them, it's like, you got to remove your shirts.
Let's whip out those breasts, girls.
What?
No, come on, you're groupies.
The zooms out. We've got positions to fill.
No, I don't have all night, so let's whip out those bazooms, huh, babes?
What actually happened to anyone, even though the big twist at the end made it all irrelevant anyway, but someone shapeshifted as Luann and seduced Phil, and he got killed? He got bitten? But then he comes back, and then Stiggy gets possessed, and he becomes better at sex and drumming. And then there's that like
yes, he actually pleased her. Yeah, that's right.
Well, after last night, I guess I shouldn't argue with you.
Beelzebub, you will do that. Yeah.
It was very unclear what was really happening to anyone.
I wish supernatural movies just made more sense. Granted, I mean, they are supernatural, but I think the ghosts or whatever, the magic entities, need to have some logic behind them.
Mm-hmm.
The way they operate, some rules. Apparently this one didn't, because it did seem like it was Invasion of the Body Snatchers for a little bit.
Yeah.
I love the effects, and the puppets were a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little annoyed about that one that was in the fridge. You could obviously see that he didn't have
you're talking about the chicken monster. That was later in the movie. That was when Thor went to get a Coke.
His, he didn't really have a
throat hole.
Yeah, he did it, right. Yeah, that was pretty annoying. But still, I mean, I really like, the idea of the evil Muppets. It goes back to the Gremlin thing or the Ghoulie thing or
the little bastards.
The little bastards, yeah. They were used a little bit here and there, but you didn't really know. They were just kind of hanging around.
The bulk of the movie was just hooking up and washing dishes.
Yeah.
Well, girls, it looks like we have the dish duty again.
There were 3 separate dishwashing scenes.
Can you do the dishes, honey? I'm going to go upstairs and get the things I was soaking out of the bathroom.
Yeah. Now that we're married, I'll hire someone to do this.
Yeah, probably me.
Okay, girls. Let's go cut some grease, huh? Ajax, boom, boom, let's rock and roll! Yeah!
Only a couple of the dudes were convincing as like rock stars or whatever, but all their significant others, with the exception of Dee Dee, were like the most like plain domestic type women ever.
I'm afraid I don't do dishes. I'm not a housewife.
Like Thor's wife, I guess she was. She was just like a soccer mom.
Don't be too long, honey. Your singing's bred out the beast in me.
When the twist happens and you find out that it's all made up,
mm-hmm.
It's all just illusions to entertain.
Wasting my time, Bub.
Bub.
You've killed no one, Bub. What? Or is it less familiar to call you Beelzebub?
But your woman, the others, your band, your groupies, what of them?
Never here, Bub. Merely shadows I created to entertain your little friends. Juicy little souls to bring you out into the open.
It makes you wonder, like, Thor, well, he's not really Thor. What was he? He was the interloper.
The intercessor.
The intercessor.
I am the intercessor.
And the archangel. Yeah. And Trident.
I am Triton, the archangel.
Which Trident in mythology is not really an angel. He's like a merman, right?
Just characters I drew from horror movies.
Even though he wasn't in the room, he was still making these images.
Yes, that's where I saw that nerdy bass player before.
Of people having sex.
Yeah.
Right? And then, so what is he doing in the shower then with that redhead?
Your singing's bred out the beast in me.
I guess he's just jerking off or something.
Yeah. That's what he's doing. Angels, they got needs.
Right.
My theory, if I had to wager a guess why, beyond it just being par for the course of a horror movie, to lure out any good horror monster, you've got to be engaging in, that kind of behavior.
Well, he said to entertain you, and apparently,
he was tempting Beelzebub to, show his true form, and I think he had to do all that to, set the mood to get the demon out.
Then at the end, Beelzebub is trying to kill him by flinging little starfish monsters at him. They had a pretty good grappling scene,
Yeah, I love the part where they're like circling each other, and you see his boots, and then you see the like little chicken feet of the
yeah, that's right.
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
So I think at the end, he did it to avenge the death of the persons in the first scene.
We have not died in vain. I, his messenger, have have avenged your deaths.
Beelzebub says, "You have the place now. You have the." He was fighting just for that one place.
You win this time. This place is yours. I will
Yeah, it would have been cool if they'd like showed that place had some significance. Like, why would the devil inhabit that one spot? You know, they should have gone to like Indian burial ground territory or something like that. That would have been cool.
When the Seven Gates of Hell, it was written by John McKell. I guess it came from his vivid imagination.
Indeed.
It could have been done better, but granted, the budget for the film was only $50,000, and supposedly they made $400,000 from the movies. Director John Fasano, then he was able to make more movies, like the zombie movie with that budget.
Which I haven't seen. Have you?
I haven't. I would like to see it though. I don't know if there's any heavy metal in it, so I like Thor, or the band, and John McKell Thor, and I kind of like that shtick. It was good to see him in the role, and there was actually a sequel. From the little bits I've read, that it's like way worse and not even good for camp value. But I think the sequel was done just because in his 60s.
Yeah, I saw a clip from it, and it looked terrible. Like it looked sad as hell.
It's kind of like how Man is the Hands of Fate. The last 10 years, they made a couple sequels, and it's kind of like I wouldn't say lightning in a bottle, but
lightning in a bottle. You can't recreate authentically bad stuff.
But I think he did it just because, he's in his 60s, he was trying to revive his career. And
have you seen his earliest performances?
So I know he did some stuff like back in the early 70s.
Yeah, when he was older. Yeah, I saw him on, not Dick Cavett, but some other talk show in the 70s when he was like, 20 or something. He had like a perfect He-Man Prince Valiant haircut and like a big mustache.
Right, yeah.
Sing this off. Everybody Wants a Piece of the Action. It's from 1976. Singing in this strangely labored way.
Satisfaction guaranteed. Everybody wants a piece of the action.
I don't know what's going on, but after he sings his crazy song and like strip teases down to just his bikini bottoms and boots.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to get psyched up right now.
He takes a water bottle, like a rubber hot water bottle, and blows it up till it explodes. Like big finish.
Orgasmic, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody wants a piece of the action.
I like his video for Anger Is My Middle Name. Have you seen that?
Oh, I haven't.
Oh yeah, that's classic. It has all the tropes, the sword and sorcery, Conan kind of thing.
Fire pumps my veins, yeah. Anger is my middle name.
But he did have some songs in the 80s, like I think what the We Live to Rock. That's a pretty good one.
Energy's great too. But yeah, John McKell Thor, I love his like determination to be like,
muscle rock.
He wasn't great at it, but he was making it happen.
Will to power.
And Thor's trying to write music. He drops his pen for no reason.
Right, it flies right over his head. Yeah.
I like how all the like creature sounds were just terrible synthesizer sounds, just like zero effort into it. Yeah, Thor, he's undistracted by demons in his kitchen.
Kind of nonchalant.
So in Rock and Roll Nightmare, we had lots of Coca-Cola product placement. In Garbage Pail Kids, we had Pepsi. Right.
Yeah.
Cola Wars.
The Cola Wars were going on, yeah.
Hey, we're the Pepsi generation. Ha!
You give me something to eat. Oh, and then you take me to bed. My body's aching, my head's spinning. I feel so small in this room. But when I'm starting to just give in, well, baby, I turn to you. You give me energy.
Thanks to guest Notorious J.A.M. of Charlotte's Vizart Video. Oh, don't despair. Our regular 80 of the 80s music podcast with AK-47 will soon be back with song number 33. I wonder what it'll be. Until then, check out our other episodes at our website, 80ofthE80s.com, or wherever or whatever you got this from. Until the next song or movie, this is DJ CK1 thanking you for your power play.
See you again, old Scratch.
Wow, that was a weird encounter.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he was drunk and like trying to hand me $100 bill and asking me, "Is this 100?" And he had like wounded arm, like his arm was all like wrapped up.
Oh wow,
it was great. So if you want to, so maybe that's what you need to do: go break a rib and then watch Razorhead.